Good morning. You're listening to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I'm with Vinnie Virga, the CEO of Floors and More. Vinnie, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
You know, most people know your background. You grew up in this business. You're second generation. You worked at New York Carpet World. You became president of Flooring America. Then you went and bought franchise Big Bob stores in the Boston, Massachusetts area, multiple stores. And now you come in and you take over this Floors and More buying group. Let's first set the stage. This is the first meeting, your July convention. And Floors and More is really Big Bob's and floor to ceiling, right?
That's correct, absolutely. Floors and More is basically the parent company, the buying group, if you will. But the way we go to market is we have Floor to Ceiling, which is our full-service retail brand. And a lot of our members actually do cabinets and counters and interior decorating in Floor to Ceiling. And Big Bob's. Big Bob's of America is our outlet brand. And those are the two different ways we go to market today. And long-term, we'll add other brands and other channels to our parent, to Floors and More.
Okay. Now, give us a little bit more of an in-depth as far as I remember the last time I asked the Big Bob's there, I think there were some 50 or so, and they were spread out over the United States. To update me on roughly the number of members you have in each one of those areas.
So Big Bob's is interesting because many of our members have multiple locations. So we actually have 39 showrooms that are in the process of being opened or opened, owned by approximately 17 members. Okay. So that's the way that group breaks out. And then in the Floor to Ceiling group, we have 60 members, which each have one showroom. Mm-hmm. So a little difference between the groups, the way they go to market and how many multiple showrooms that they have.
And we're in Minneapolis, which I guess would tell me that Floor to Ceiling must be somewhat of a Midwestern geographical coverage. Is that right?
That's right. And part of being here was a nod to our Floor to Ceiling members to show how much we value them and appreciate them, and to make it easy for them to get to the meeting because we acquired Floor to Ceiling in April. So that's why we're here.
One more comment about Big Bob's. It's always impressed me that some of the most forward-thinking, successful businessmen in the business and the retail sector, like Aaron Perner and Ken Weisbarker, they somewhat of endorse what you're doing, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And they're wonderful operators. And, you know, they have learned a long time ago, if you talk with them, and I'm lucky enough to know them both well, that they believe that by having different brands in an individual market, you capture more share. And I often hear them talk about it. It's almost like a left pocket or right pocket where you put your money. It's still your pockets. Mm-hmm. You know, so they have different ways they go to market, and it allows them to be more effective and also more important to their vendors.
So does the Big Bob stores, do they offer installation?
Many of them do, and we encourage them to. So there are people who go into Big Bob's who are trade professionals, builders, installers, designers, who are simply buying to resell. There are people who go there and buy and get a referral, and then there are those who are retail consumers who go and buy who want full service and installed product. Not all Big Bob's install, but I would say right now we probably have over 50% of them doing installation.
Okay. So what sets you apart when you compare yourself to some of the other buying groups?
Well, it's interesting. You know, we acquired Big Bob's in January of this year. We acquired Floor to Ceiling in April, and so we've been very focused on our core. So it's a great question. And for us, it's about value to our members. So what defines us is we're going to help our members be more profitable than they would be if they were in another buying group or unaligned. And we're going to help them do so very efficiently. So we're focused on providing them with outstanding marketing, especially digital marketing. It's one of the areas today where most independent retailers struggle. Number two, merchandising and buying, having great products that are private labeled, that provide them extra gross profit margin opportunities that are priced well, and that have rebates. Rebates and terms discounts are a big portion of an independent retailer's profitability today. Education and training, having world-class people on your floors that differentiate you from home centers and your competitors is another important part of the program. And then just return on investment. Our members are going to make out better at the end of the day on the money they invest versus the return they get for being in the group.
Now, how will this group grow? Will it be organic, or are you seeking people to change allegiances from other buying groups? Talk a little bit about that strategy.
You know, Kemp, you always ask the best questions. I love that about you. Look, we're aggressively going to be starting to grow the group. Up till now, we haven't been aggressive for the last 6 months. We focused on getting everything the way we want it, so that as we invite new people into the group, they're able to get up to speed very quickly and be very successful. Now we're getting ready to step on the gas, and we're going to start growing. We're looking for people who are interested in joining and who are not aligned. So if someone's in a different group, they would need to leave before we could pursue them. Otherwise, it would be interfering in another relationship, and that's not our interest. But we're going to provide a lot better value than any other group out there, bar none. And second of all, we're going to be acquiring other companies. So we have conversations going with a variety. There's about a half dozen groups that interest us. We actually are having conversations with 3 of them right now. And over time, I assume we'll continue to reach out to the others, and I'm sure we'll make some additional acquisitions along the way.
Give me a little bit more clarity on your comment about they need to leave another group, because I know, several of your Big Bob's people are also a member of Carpet One.
Well, I guess it's a little confusing, so let me try and clarify. I apologize. We have many people who are in other groups who have Big Bob's, and we welcome them. We have people who are in Floor Expo. We have people who are in Carpet One, Flooring America, a variety of other groups who open Big Bob's. Our Floor to Ceiling group, though, is a retail group, and it competes directly with Carpet One, Flooring America, Abbey, Carpets Plus. You name the group, it's very similar to what they do, and I suspect that they could only be in one group or the other. I don't know that that's going to be an issue for us so much as I think it's going to be an issue for the other groups. But at the end of the day, we're looking for people who are like-minded, who want to grow, who want to learn, who want to be the best they can at their game. And if that feels like something they're interested in, then we would love to talk to them.
Now, your typical member, are they like you? Are they multi-generational and been in the business most of their lives?
We have a mix. So we have some first-generation people who are getting ready to hand the reins off to second. We have some second-generation. We even have some third-generation members. So it's an interesting mix, and we go from small to large. We have members who have over $50 million if you look at all their business entities in flooring and volume, and we have members who do $900,000 a year in volume. So it's truly a pretty big mix. But I think, thankfully, the group has something to offer regardless of size. So it is a pretty interesting and diverse group, though, Kemp.
All right, last question, Vinnie. You're one man, and obviously you've got a wealth of experience in this business, but you also have your own business to run. Mm-hmm. And you look at some of these other buying groups, and they have these headquarters in different locations, and they've got staff that's dedicated to the group. And you look at, like, say, the NFA, and they're the consolidated group of individuals. So how do you spread your time between running this organization and running your own business up in the Massachusetts area?
That's a great question. Here again, look, I think the other groups do a lot of great things, and I think groups are wonderful for independent retailers. I want to be really clear about that. I spend 85% of my time working on floors and more. I spend about 15% of my time working on, I am a Floor to Ceiling member. I was a Big Bob's member, but our stores are called Floors and Kitchens today, and they really look, feel, taste like a Floor to Ceiling. So we moved them into the Floor to Ceiling group because it's a much better group. But they fly Floors and Kitchens today on their storefront, to be clear. But 85% of my time is working day in and day out on what our members need. We have internal staff. We have external partners that basically work for us full time that help us staff our business. But I would say to you that one of the problems with other groups and their value is they're overstaffed. They've got way too many bodies for what they do. It's ridiculous. So we don't need 200 people to service our group. We have the right amount of bodies. We'll add key people as we need to. And as you look at our bench, you're going to see we have really top quality partners, both internal and external, to help our members do what they need to do. But we're never going to put an extra body on the staff just to put them there and have that load go on our members' cost. It just won't happen.
All right, Vinnie, it's great to visit with you. Again, been talking to Vinnie Virga, the CEO of Floors and More, at their first convention in Minneapolis, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.